Oh my God! Speaking of coming on cans, this is the Known Zone. I'm Andy Haynes, and I'm doing. Yep, I'm doing it right at the top.
Jesus Christ!
Yep, because I keep on forgetting, and we keep on going down just the rabbit hole.
Yeah, but isn't that's the idea is to just waste an hour.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Okay.
We'll waste an hour, but this is the Known Zone, a podcast where we talk about something, kind of, we kind of cover because I feel like I know a lot. But I don't actually know enough to, get a job or make a lot of money or,
I think that's more about drive.
I'm pretty driven. It's just that
I think you're smart enough to get most jobs.
I've tried to get most jobs.
Yeah, but that's
doctor. No.
Your
lawyer. No.
Your resume
Firefighter.
Stinks.
No.
Stand-up comedian.
NFL. No. Yeah. Stand-up actor, writer.
Yeah.
But we talk about a subject and we bring in a funny guest if they're available, and one was today.
Yep.
And he's a good friend of ours.
Ooh.
He's a good friend.
Yeah.
Yummy.
And he's
what is that?
Okay.
Rough start. Cut that out.
cut the yummy part.
Good friend. That makes me feel yummy inside.
Oh, okay, good.
Okay.
All right, we accept that.
I've seen you 3 times this week.
Nice.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Nice. Good for you.
Nice, awesome. Sounds
Yeah.
great for you.
Yeah.
I have not seen Matt for
I know, but
4 months.
yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
It's been a long
Was he
time.
unhealthy back then?
he was on his up. He was upping it. Can I tell a funny story
Yeah.
about this? Can
Yeah,
we
of
talk
course.
about your mental health?
Of course, man. That's all anyone ever wants to talk about.
So we're not going to talk about it very much because I don't want this podcast to just be about how you have bipolar syndrome or whatever it's called.
Syndrome.
What is
Yeah.
it? Bipolar disorder?
Yeah.
Okay, whatever. Syndrome, disorder. Don't be. You're the crazy one. Don't be particular.
Yeah.
Me and Wilfred are totally normal.
Exactly. Yeah.
But
My pills that I take are just for fun.
Yeah.
It's because they taste good.
Yum.
Yeah, mine are for energy. But you've been hanging out with Drake. Drake says yum, yum, yum.
Does he?
Yeah, that's a Drake thing.
I did not know that.
He goes yum, yum, yum. Or he goes meow, meow, meow.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Anyways, I like you more than Drake, so it's fine. But so Matt and me are hanging out, and a friend of ours has signaled that Matt is unwell. And I am like, all right, well, I've been talking to Matt like kind of a lot, and so I'm going to check it out for myself. Hey, Matt, you want to go do this thing? I think we go to the Turkish baths.
Yeah.
And then we get
I
dinner.
was there.
Yeah. And then it's, but I think it was afterwards, you come up to my place. And the whole time we're kind of talking about what you're going through. You've gone through a breakup. Your friends and family are trying to say that you're crazy. And you're like, and I'm like going like, yeah, Matt's like normal. And then Matt's like, hey, do you want to hear some raps I wrote?
Yeah.
And just puts him on the Sonos and starts playing me a catalog.
You
of
took
raps.
over the Sonos.
Yeah.
How
You
else
didn't
are you
even-
gonna, how else are you gonna play the hot
I mean,
beats?
I don't know. I figured you just play it
No,
off your phone.
he
like that.
No.
he got the Wi-Fi. He got the Sonos.
Well, hold on. Let's talk about how even the best song sounds bad on a cell phone if you're just playing it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
You
but
had to
that,
get-
that is the worst way to enjoy music.
But I think
is
you're
on a speaker
if
phone.
you're playing me raps, I'm only listening for lyrical content.
Yeah, and that's the worst way to listen to anything is on a speakerphone.
Yeah, but no one-
you got to put it on the Sonos, baby.
I'm not going, oh, raps. Oh, yeah, Matt's going to play me a banger. It's like, all I'm thinking is, how do I say nice things about this?
Well, that's where we're different because when I'm manic, I'm like, this is the banger of the
Yeah.
century.
You were definitely selling it like.
Was it good?
No.
No, I'll tell you this. It was impressive. Like
Oh,
it was
really?
it wasn't so bad that I was like, this is abysmal. It was just like not good enough to pursue. Like I was like, you're not a rapper. You're like a very talented comic.
What about the songs that are not rap though?
Those are kind of not my genre. They sounded kind of like.
Well, you had other songs?
Yeah,
Oh,
like
I'm a
Juice WRLD.
I'm a multi-genre.
Oh, you
like-
were like auto-tuning
No, it was more like
singing stuff?
that kind of emo rap. It was like emo rap.
Yeah.
Like kind of
But I got like
sing-songy.
a techno banger in the chamber. I got a singing. I sing sometimes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got some funny ones too. Like
Yeah,
there's
they're-
definitely like there's some that are just like funny songs, and
Yeah.
so those could stand alone. Like they were good enough to be funny rap songs,
Sure.
but they weren't good enough to just be rap songs.
Yeah. Yeah. I think if I shoot the right videos for them, they could be something, but I'll probably never release them because I'm so self-conscious that it means that I'm manic if I think that they're good.
Yeah. I understand that.
Yeah.
I mean, there was definitely like, I think the height of it was like, we'd had a couple run-ins
I
where
think I also fell asleep.
you did fall asleep. You fell asleep mid, like you were telling me about raps, you were playing raps, and then you were just out, and I was like, I don't think this is normal. Yeah, he was all over the place because he was partying too. Matt was out there.
Yeah.
But then, like a couple weeks later, you released like an Instagram reel that was like you like going into the stew, and it was like done like in like. I don't even know what you would call that fashion of reel, but
it was like Hype Williams directed it.
Yeah. And I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah. It turned quick. It was okay for a while. It was like, oh, he's on the uptick, and then it was like, oh, he's going.
Yeah, you already know the story that like one night Connor McNutt calls me worried, and he's like, "Is Matt okay?" And I was like, I think he's like on a manic like trip. And he's like, that's what I thought, because, man, he was so much fun to hang out with.
He was awesome.
Dude, you do party hard when you're manic. You know what else is, like, funny is that when I'm in active addiction, like when I was, like, a full-on insane, smoke weed nonstop, I also was like, I'm a rapper. It's like for some reason, it's like the new I'm Jesus. That's like what white people do, I think, when they...
Yeah, I mean, every time I'm in a psych ward, I mean, I have a joke about this, but I find a cipher quick.
It's out there.
There's many a people that think they can rap.
You just find 3 other 30-year-old white guys.
Yeah. And I mean, like, walk the streets of New York, people are yelling raps.
Yeah. I just saw, if you walk down Broadway, you're going to see 9 or 10 aspiring MCs.
Yeah. Handing you mixtapes on CDs.
They're still handing out CDs?
No, but they're like, download my SoundCloud or whatever. It's the same shit. It's been going on for, and like poetry is, was before rap, I guess. All those dudes were bipolar. They were all manic depressive.
They were like on ether. They were like drunk all day.
Oh, of course.
And then I guess back in the day, I didn't know this. I heard this, that you, like, if you were like a good poet, like you got like a patron. Like a rich guy was like, come and live in my manor and just write poems.
That's how you were if you were a good artist back then.
That's awesome.
I wish we had that now.
My God.
I guess I am kind of patronized by my mother, my mother, my wife, who is almost a mother. But I'm glad you're back.
Me too, man. I'm so glad that I'm back.
You were never bad, though. I will say that you were never like you were annoying a little.
Yeah.
But you were never like. It wasn't like my friend who's bipolar is like he's like come to my window at like 4 a.m. and woke me up.
It didn't get that bad. Other episodes have gotten that bad.
Yeah.
This one didn't get that bad. Thank God. I don't know how I.
Was it because you were still taking meds?
I was still taking meds the whole time.
Yeah.
I was taking them like irregularly, I guess. Like I would like go out, party all night, get home at 6 a.m, and then take my meds. And like you're not supposed to. That's not the way to do it. But I was taking them the whole time, and I think I sort of just landed the plane somehow.
Yeah. I mean, I think it also helped that you had like 1,000 people a day being like, Matt, you're manic. You're manic. Matt, you're manic.
100%.
Yeah. I remember one time I confronted you at the cellar. I was like, dude, I think maybe you should just listen to them, because they're like, and you were like, I'm gonna have to go to the psych ward, and I was like, it's not that bad. Knowing that it's horrible.
I didn't know how to handle it, so I was like, oh man, that sucks that everyone says you're manic.
Most agreeable guy.
What are they?
Cut to Wilfred in a stolen car with a gun to his head. I didn't know you like to get wet.
I was trying to get Matt to change from the inside, not to tell him to change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was trying to do a psyop on him.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, it worked. He's
it
back.
somehow did work. Yeah.
So you're welcome. That was all me.
Thank you. I mean, I crashed so hard. I was in bed for like a week and a half, just like unresponsive.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you go to mom's house?
No. Just like my bed. That's just a mattress on the floor.
That's scary. You were just solo in your house?
No, people were calling and like people were checking on me and like, you know, my parents did come by a couple times, but like,
Did your uncle?
yeah, that's the funniest thing.
Your uncle coming down to check on you is the funniest thing I ever heard.
Yeah. You've met my uncle.
What's that?
His uncle is also bipolar.
I have an uncle that lives upstairs that is kind of a lot, to say the least. And that was like my family's closest point of contact because he lives upstairs. So they were asking him, and he was I just remember like him just like chain smoking cigarettes, being like, "I'm worried about you. I'm worried about you." It's 6 a.m. and he's chugging a fucking Foster's, and he's like, "I'm so worried about you." I'm like, dude, you can't be worried. Like,
that's so funny.
Yeah, you.
I'm imagining
aren't allowed to be worried about.
I imagine your uncle is like Carlos.
No, he's not like Carlos. He's like
he's kind of sweet. He's like
he's really sweet.
Carlos is very sweet.
Yeah, but he's not. I don't know. The intensity isn't as
in his eyes. He thinks he's Robert De Niro. He calls Robert De Niro Bobby D.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of guy.
Okay. He thinks he grew up with him.
Exactly. Yeah,
My favorite story is that one time when Matt was living with his ex, she was like coming home from work. And she like ordered Postmates of like, what was it? McDonald's. She ordered McDonald's Postmates. And when she got home, the uncle was just eating it.
We're like, where is the Postmates? Where's the Postmates? She's like, I don't know. I'm like, I'm going to go check upstairs. She's like, he wouldn't. I go upstairs. My uncle's just chowing down on all of our food.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, what the fuck? He goes, it said Sahib. I there's no Sahib that lives here. I was like, that's the fucking delivery driver, you fucking moron. He said, all right, take it. I'm sorry. Half-eaten Big Mac, like chewed on nuggets that he spit back out for some reason because they were probably spicy. And that's another thing. He's the pickiest eater.
He steals food and then he's picky about it.
Yes. It's so annoying. Like he can't do mayonnaise. It's so annoying. Anything spicy. He doesn't eat eggs. I'm like, what the fuck?
This rocks. I love it. I love your ethnic queen's existence. What else has been going on? Just kind of getting your groove back?
Get my groove back. I've been having a lot of fun on stage, actually, with like newer stuff. What else is going on? Not much, man. I'm working at a coffee shop. That's brutal.
In Queens?
In Queens.
Nice.
Yeah, and like people come in and they give me this look like, you know, and they don't say anything, but with their eyes, they're like, I thought you were doing better.
Yeah.
You know? And
wait, the people that know you?
Yeah, like people I grew up with. It's like 8 blocks away from my house.
That fucking hurts when you're like, when I was working at J. Crew, people would be like, oh my God, I follow you on TikTok.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh yeah, what size chinos do you need?
Exactly.
Me to
Yeah.
I remember I worked at a coffee shop right when I moved to LA, and I just had turned 30. And I just had done like Conan.
Yeah.
And I was like a barista at this like little cute coffee shop. I was making like fucking $8.25 an hour or something like that. And famous people would come in that I knew kind of. And they would be like, why? They would literally go, why do you work here?
Yeah.
And I'd be like, because you got to pay money to to live. What do you mean? What are you talking about?
I'm researching a role.
Yeah.
It's about a barista who is a vigilante at night. It's actually a pretty cool script.
Yeah, he kills other celebrities.
There's one time a Filipino kid came into J. Crew, and thankfully I was not doing my job. I was just looking at my phone.
And he was like, Wilfred Padua!
He was like, oh my God. He was like shocked. It was like I've never actually experienced this with a celebrity. Like he was like, oh my God. Like,
I did that last week.
What?
I didn't go, oh my God, but I saw Harry Styles in the flesh and I did like a freeze. Like I froze. I choked up.
Yeah. So this guy acted like that to me, and he was like, I like would have expected you to walk around with security or something. And I was like, yeah, look, man,
They're in the bathroom, dude.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm a normal guy. And he's like, oh, sorry, man, I'll let you. We took a picture together, and he's like, I'll let you keep on shopping. And he goes downstairs, and then I hid in the break room until he left.
The last job that I had, I worked in a restaurant. You had to wear one of those like aprons, and it's one of those like you know, they're all trying to like be cool, so you have to wear this big apron.
You have to look like you work in the kitchen. Almost.
Exactly. You look like a butcher.
Yeah.
But God forbid you get anything on this apron. It's like the end of the world. So
wait, the apron's not to be an apron?
It's not like
it's a uniform apron.
It's a uniform, yeah. Yeah. So this was like right when like the Instagram reels were like every single one was getting like 1 million. Like it was like
popping off.
Exactly. And this couple is like, we've been staring at you the whole time. You're not the one with that Netflix joke, are you? And I was like, oh yeah, that's me. They're like, you work here? Can we take a picture? And I'm like, no.
But didn't you end up taking a picture?
I'm in an apron. Like, yeah.
You're in a UPS uniform.
Exactly. Like, what the fuck? They were like, can you like take it off? I was like, no. They were like, oh, okay, I understand. And I was like, yeah, don't come back ever again.
I've never said no to a picture.
That was the one time I did. At the Dutch, I did take a picture with that real estate lady.
Yeah, and she posted it to Instagram, and then you reposted it, and I was like, I think you were manic.
No, I reposted it, and I said, "This is my nightmare."
Okay.
Yeah.
It's so funny because I feel like we're all very good, talented comedians, and there's just such a dearth between what the public understands of how you make money in this business versus like reality.
Or not, man. Or we just suck at making the money.
I think that's a part of it.
Yeah.
I think that's a big part of it. But also I think it's like, I've been pretty concerted about trying to, you know, raise my thing and, you know, like do all of the right steps.
I know, but I think maybe we care about we're like doing it wrong. I mean, I'm speaking for myself. Like I don't really care about money. I know that's like a stupid thing to say, and like of course you need money, and like, but I'm never like, oh, I'm gonna do this so that I can make more money, and that's like really dumb.
Well, I don't do it like that. I just do like, okay, like I'm supposed to post on a schedule. I need to do this, and this. If this person's around, I need to be cordial. You know, like just little like things that I see other kind of successful friends. But I've been doing this so long. I've been doing it. It'll be 19 years in December that I am starting to kind of be like, I don't know. I don't know what everybody's seen me. I don't know if there's like another level.
That's where I'm at too, man. I've been doing it like 16 years, and I look around and like not like in a jealous way, but I'm just like, this guy doesn't have a day job.
Yeah.
How did he figure it out? And then you talk to him. He's like, I got this YouTube channel. Like, there's just so many ways to fucking do it, and I haven't figured it out.
Yeah,
yet.
mine. I'm more like, wow, I fucking stink at this job. Like, I've been feeling that a lot lately.
I've never felt that.
Really? You don't feel like you suck?
No, I'm underrated all the time.
Oh, that's good. I would love that speed. I do feel underrated, but I also feel like lately I've been like, I don't know how to like I'll go with a premise and it will bomb so hard that I go like, how is it possible that I've been doing comedy this long and I can bomb that hard? Like if you played the guitar as much as I did comedy, you would be so good at guitar. Every time you picked up a guitar, people would be like,
wow.
what the fuck?
Yeah.
And sometimes I pick up the guitar and it's just like bing bong, bing bong, bing bong. And I'm like, what the fuck, man?
That's a great fucking analogy.
You were hosting that show at New York last week that I was on. And I had like maybe the best set of my life, and I was like, how come I can do this and then I'm probably gonna bomb in an hour and a half?
Yeah. I just keep shooting myself in the foot with this fucking mental illness thing. That's my
I don't know if it's I don't know if you shoot yourself in the foot, but I think you probably feel so low when you come out of a manic episode that you're just like assume that it's kind of.
Well, I also think it's like a consistency thing, right? Like doing anything consistently is what gets you far.
Yeah.
And I'm so inconsistent with it.
Are you?
Yeah.
I feel like the only thing I see you inconsistent with is like maybe you don't post clips while you're coming down from a manic episode.
Yes, yeah.
But that's like the least,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I don't know.
But I also think we're like all extremely hard on ourselves. And I think the one thing that's an advantage that a lot of people have, besides some people can be sick or, you know, like whatever, they can have their like foibles, egomaniacs, narcissists, but they're able to use that to
sometimes that is their superpower.
Yeah.
Even if it's like they're miserable, they're able to use it to like capitalize, right? But I think that we kind of fit into the thing of like, if something is wrong or if we kind of hit like a wall where like, I did this. And I deserve it.
Well, I have moments where I'm like, oh, I'm starting to hit some success, and then I go, I shouldn't be doing this, and then I got a huge TikTok following off of like being one of the first comedians on it.
Yeah.
And then I stopped posting because I was like, I guess I won TikTok, so it's over.
Yeah,
that was so dumb.
It was so dumb. I could be doing theaters.
You'd be a theaters guy.
Getting
I'd be
canceled.
opening for you.
I know. I can't
Why
wait
did you?
That would have been so much better.
How many you got on TikTok?
60K.
Oh, that's nice.
But he got it like right away.
Right away.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
But then he stopped.
But then I stopped, and I think all those people stopped using TikTok too.
Yeah. They all deactivated their accounts.
Yeah.
I found this out like because I was like, I have a decent following on Instagram. And, you know, like I think I'm 56K right now.
Yeah.
And,
You
but
think?
like, no, I am.
I know the exact number.
That's what I was going to say.
I just got from 55.9. I've been watching that 55.9 for like a week, and
then
it
it's
kept
going
on
to go
getting
back down, dude.
Yeah.
That's a heartbreaker.
You know what I saw yesterday? I was watching The Bear, and we were talking about Kasama, the Filipino restaurant in Chicago.
Oh yeah.
And after we talked about it, I checked, and they followed me. They were following me, and then I looked it up after I saw them featured in The Bear, the show. No longer follows me.
They stopped following you.
Son of a gun.
I was
did
like,
a cleanse.
That was like the coolest thing that I had going on for me.
A restaurant following you.
I had some
It's a
cool,
cool
follow
restaurant.
It's a cool
recently.
restaurant.
I had somebody follow me where I was like, hell yeah, dude. I fucking made it.
Yeah.
But
56K, you were saying.
it like
Damn,
it
you should be
doesn't
the podcast
necessarily
host.
it doesn't necessarily like translate like because I think my fans are like me. You know, they're like people that are like, oh, I would love to go to that, but like I'm probably not going to go to that.
Yeah.
You know, like they're not necessarily going to come out to the show. Like Europe, London was great, but Amsterdam and Berlin were like, I don't know, like 75 people in each city kind of thing, where it was like, it was fun, but it was like, man, I have like 12 friends that sell 3,000 tickets every other night.
Yeah.
You know, like this is not where, you know,
I know
it's not
I know.
it.
I know. It's frustrating for sure. And you think about like 56,000 people, right? That's how many people follow you. That's
Yeah.
a whole stadium.
Uh-huh. And they
Full of
won't
people.
They
And
won't
they
all
won't-
fly
I
to
know.
the MetLife Stadium for me to do this show, which
It's
is
so
rude.
annoying. It's so annoying. It's so annoying.
Well, instead of
about our
self-flagellating
careers,
and bitching, we'll cut all that out. It'll seem super positive
Yeah.
vibes.
Let's do a 20-minute podcast this week.
Let's just have. Could you just splice in some Gary Vaynerchuk motivational speeches about how you have to grind?
I literally want to die instead of fail. Die. Death. Over. I do not know how to live in life. I do not know how to live in life. Live in life. You should take defeat personally, period.
I'm going to get a grind set mindset, and we're going to fucking flourish.
I honestly think Gary Vee is a little helpful.
Bucket full of receipts.
No, all of that shit's helpful.
Like
I
if Gary Vee was my boyfriend and woke me up every morning,
successful?
I'd be a much better person.
That's
I'd
fair.
be in better shape.
Yeah.
I'd be good at push-ups, you know,
All right.
shit like that.
Good at push-ups. Are
I'd
you
be
bad
good
at
at push-ups.
push-ups?
I feel like you're good at push-ups.
Yeah, I actually beat Andy in
Yeah,
a
he
push-up
did.
competition once.
On the pod?
No, we
No,
were like
at the
climbing
top of a mountain.
and we got to the top of the mountain, and I was like jacked, and I was like, "Who wants to do push-ups?" And Wilfred was like, "I'll do push-ups," and
Yeah.
then we did a little competition. And I've never been like a consistent push-up guy.
Yeah.
and I definitely like, I think you got 30, I got like 24.
You good at arm
I got way
wrestling?
more
Anybody
than
good at
that.
arm wrestling?
I probably could be at one point.
I think
Yeah.
we like because of the moving muscle, it's all bicep.
Yeah, it's
And
all
shoulder.
forearm and shoulder. Yeah, it's kind of a Okay.
It's funny that you bring up that thing with Vaynerchuk though, because it's like I think all of that stuff is so silly. Like you know, like there's like all these products that get like, you know, like the posture coach kind of like brace thing you wear, like that's like don't sit like a pussy, you know, and then like whatever, like all the things like organize your day, buy this wallet made out of bulletproof metal.
I write on I have a mirror and that I actually bought dry erase pens for it.
And you write nice stuff to yourself?
I wrote, "Don't be a homo."
Really?
No,
nice.
I didn't. No, but I actually use it. But I am like starting to get to that point where I need to tell myself things.
Yeah.
But I mean, all that
is
stuff,
helpful.
even though it's like you roll your eyes at it, it probably does.
It
like,
does
if
help.
you could just
CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy.
If you could just fix your judgment thing and just, because I have like my therapist is like not traditional. She's all about like energy and abundance and shit like that.
Gross.
And
you ever just be in a bad mood and you just fake a smile?
Yeah.
And then you're like, I feel a lot better.
Really?
Yeah, do it right now.
Yeah. You're doing it too weird. You
Yeah,
look
you're
weird.
doing it.
Stop
You're
it. Yeah, that's not it. Stop it.
Have you ever smiled before?
Wilfred, stop.
I'm happy. I'm so happy. I'm in a tough mood. I am a little hungover.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I went to the beach with McNutt and Joey Dardano.
Oh, those guys can drink.
By the way, so yesterday there was a flash flood.
Yeah.
Right? So it's raining. It says it's going to rain all day. And I'm like, Connor, this is stupid that we're doing this. And he's like, we're dedicated. We already walked to the A and we're soaking wet. And I was like, all right, fine. So I hop in a car, take it to Rockaway. As soon as we get there, flash flood hits. I'm like,
so you were already soaked and then you hopped in a
no,
personal?
they were soaking wet because they took a train.
Okay. So
I took a car to get to Rockaway.
Oh, wow.
They were wet from
You
sweat?
splurged.
Yeah, I made so much money in the rush.
Okay.
But so I took a car, and then as soon as I get there, it's raining
rains again.
and I'm like probably half a mile from them because this is what I hate about going to the beach with friends is you can't find each other for like the
that's a
first
hard one.
hour.
Yeah.
It's
So-
a real life. Where's Waldo?
Yeah. So I'm like half a mile from them, and then they're like, and as soon as I get out of the car, Connor texts, "LOL, they're kicking everyone off the beach because it's raining so hard."
Nice.
And then he was like, "You know what? We're gonna go to this brewery." And I was like, "You know what? I'm so far away, and I'm holding all this beach shit on me that I'll just meet you at the brewery. I'll take a car." So I take a car to
A second car.
I take a second car
God
to
damn.
the brewery.
Jesus. Now
And
I
then-
understand.
And then
You should have been writing jokes. you're obsessed with taking cars.
I love cars. Take a second car to the brewery. We get to the brewery. Skies clear up.
Of course.
Connor's like, "Hey, dude, we're
at the beach.
We're staying at the beach. Come back."
No, don't tell me this.
Third car.
Third car.
Jesus Christ.
I'm in Rockaway.
This is a
There's
problem.
there's no way to
I'm
get
gonna have
around.
our mutual friend Dan Davies have an intervention with
Yeah,
you
dude.
about your
You
car
have to.
addiction.
You have to stop.
Third car. There was a fourth car later in the day.
Jesus
Oh my
Christ.
god.
But third
That's
car
like-
back to the beach.
I'm about to tell the
$200.
people you owe student loans to about your car addiction.
Yeah.
Don't
Sally
please
Mae.
don't. And we get to the beach, and I'm just like, that was so awful. I'm getting trashed.
Yeah,
So
I get that.
I drank, and then this
Some
was crazy.
nutcrackers. You get a nutcracker.
No,
on the
there's
beach?
no all the nutcracker,
guys
weren't even-
drowned.
Yeah. So this is crazy. Joey
Big bad shark.
Dardano's there, and he, he's an attention whore. So he pulls out a American flag one-piece bathing suit for
Oh, I
women,
saw it.
and
Yeah.
he's wearing that, and he's got an eagle's head, and dancing around, and it's very funny. We're all trashed. It's very fun, and they go out swimming, him and our buddy John, and this guy gets swept under a current, and Joey, dressed like a fucking idiot, swims out and saves his life. And then John is out there swimming out to help him. Another guy gets swept up under a current. John saves that guy's life. And then the cops on the beach are like, "What the fuck are you guys doing?" and yelling at him because they look like idiots.
Yeah.
And that's the end of that story. I'm really bad at telling stories.
But
no,
you
no.
got trashed.
I was trash.
And then you took an Uber home.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then what was the rest of your night like? Was it like, what time are we getting home? 8?
No, 7:30.
And then no fireworks.
No fireworks. Not. I actually could have watched fireworks from my roof. Didn't even go up there.
Yeah.
I was just like, you know what? I laid down and fell asleep to watching the bear.
Okay.
That's cute.
Yeah.
What'd you do for the 4th? You don't celebrate it because you identify as Croatian, right?
Exactly. Yeah. My Independence Day is no, I don't even know when it is.
June,
I'm sure there is.
It's July 13th. It's July 13th.
July 13th.
Really? How do you know that?
Because
Andy
today's
knows
topic
things.
is Yugoslavia.
Andy knows.
What does that have to do with Croatia? I don't know.
Croatia
my
was part
God.
of Yugoslavia.
Did he just say that for real?
I know.
What is Croatia?
Okay,
have to
tell
do
me
with
about the
Yugoslavia?
Philippines.
There was a war.
No, there was a war.
Damn it, you got me.
No, actually kind of became.
But this
countries around
happened
the
in
same
like
time.
our lifetime. Oh, Philippines happened in our lifetime too.
No,
No.
but
Okay.
like Croatia became a country first
Yeah.
in like 1922.
Okay.
But actually, that's
Wait, so what
Yugoslavia,
happened in our
Yugoslavia.
lifetime?
Croatia became a country in officially independent country in 1990. I think.
Yeah, that's what I'm
what
saying.
happened in 1990?
Yeah.
I was 4 years old. You think I was paying attention to shit?
No.
You
but
should have
then
been. You might have more TikTok followers right now.
I was not. I didn't even know who the president was at that time.
Have you guys seen
Oh my God,
the
that's
video?
what I should do. I should really lean into this Croatian shit, shouldn't I?
Yeah.
I'm trying to do that, but it's also so fake of me to. All I do is I go hashtag Pinoy
Yeah.
and hashtag Pinoy boy
Yeah.
and hashtag Pinoy comedy. It's just like all
wow.
that. And I'm getting Filipino followers, but none of my comedy is.
Everybody's
shit.
like,
Do you
who's this?
speak
Tagalog?
Tagalog?
No.
Okay.
See,
Yeah.
you
I
don't even know what our language is.
I don't speak Croatian either, so that
I
would be
could have guessed your language.
Listen to this.
That'd be
I
devastating.
got some devastating news for you.
What?
There is another Croatian comic on the scene. I found out.
No.
Who is it?
Steph Dags,
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
first language Croatian.
Oh shit.
Yeah. I was talking to you about you the other day.
Yeah.
I was telling her, I was like, oh, Matt Pavich is super Croatian.
And she said
She
who?
was like,
Andy you just know to not do that with black people.
what?
I have a black friend.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you do
it's
that
way
with
different.
everyone else other
Yeah.
than black people.
What's safer? You know?
Yeah, it's definitely safer.
I did that the other day and I got in trouble with my wife.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because there was a guy from Singapore.
You're like, I
And
know
I was
a
like,
wife.
oh, do you know Ronnie Chang? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, that's our buddy. And then he was like, cool, okay,
Yeah.
great. I gotta stop doing it. It's bad. I just want to talk about like, oh,
Culture
like,
and
what's
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like but it's becoming a problem. It's becoming like this thing where I make people feel awkward.
Well, you
So-
don't.
I don't think that's
I mean,
awkward,
you don't
though.
do
That's like how conversations work. You say, "Oh, that's a relatable thing. This
Yeah.
is how I know that thing."
I
Well,
go,
the problem
"Oh,
is that other people do it, and the way that they do it is like, oh, that's the end of a conversation. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, do you know Ronnie Chang? Because you're both the same color, you know. But you do it so you can talk about the capital of
Yeah,
their
exactly.
country.
Yeah, I want to know about their cuisine. I want to
Yeah.
know like what's going on the table before the meal starts. You know what I mean? You put in a little thing of salt. You put
I
in a little
invited
thing of-
Andy over to watch the World Cup.
Oh yeah,
And
this
he,
is
he brought like 3 boxes of burek, which is like a Croatian, like I guess a Yugoslavian.
it's kind of that whole. I think
That
it even
whole-
goes into
So do you
Istanbul
feel-
and
Yeah,
Turkey.
yeah.
Do you feel?
But do you hearing what I did? I brought his cuisine to
He
his
brought-
his.
He's
house.
done that to me.
Yeah,
It was really cute. I was touched.
your uncle
I
was
still-
like, all right, and just put a cigarette out and some cheese. I'm worried about you.
I'm worried about
You're spending too much money on Borek. All right, so I mean, we can just get into it.
Yeah.
Yugoslavia was a country
Yeah.
that was formed after World War I, and Yugo means south, and Slav means Slavic. So it was the Southern Slavic state. It was a state, basically.
Can I see this on a map, Autumn?
Yeah. And so
going.
it was created after World War I because all parts of it had been part of the Ottoman Empire and the Austro-Hungarian Empire.
I
Which
know so little about all of this shit. Every
You're
time I
about to
heard,
learn, baby.
there it is. So
Right
there's
there,
Italy and
baby.
Greece. It's right there.
that's why you guys look alike.
Yeah. Can you go back to the last map you were in?
Who's
This one right here. So this is the modern day.
Got it.
Yugoslavia.
And you see all
what's been
that
broken
coast,
into.
baby. You see all
That's
the
the
coast,
Dalmatian
dog?
coast.
You see
Yeah.
all of that? We got all of that in the war, bro.
Yeah.
We got the whole coast, and people are still mad.
They're tight about it.
Okay.
And shit's actually kind of popping off lately.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. It's scary.
Who's involved with this war? What are the sides?
So okay. So
3 religions.
there's
Three sides.
There's
Yeah.
way more than that because so in World War I, this is what it was part of the Austro-Hungarian Empire, which is all the north, and the Turkish Empire, which is like actually you can't even see Turkey on this map, but it's to the right of that image. And then,
Bulgaria.
yeah, but they were also part of the Ottoman Empire.
Okay.
And so it breaks up, and it's this, it becomes this independent Yugoslavian, Southern Slavic people state.
And they were kind of killing it.
It was a monarchy. They had a king, and they were actually kind of getting along. Like there was ethnic tension. There's always been ethnic tension because Bosnia is kind of predominantly Muslim.
Yeah.
And Serbia is Orthodox Christian. And then Croatia, Slovenia is kind of more Catholic. And so they all kind of beef. Obviously,
Were you Catholic?
No. I mean, my mom.
Oh yeah,
is
your
super
mom.
religious,
but she like.
your
did
mom's
all of them,
Haitian.
right?
my mom's Haitian and Italian, but she switches up her denominations.
Was
right?
your dad raised in a church?
Yeah.
Catholic?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
My grandmother was super Catholic. She was my baba was a saint of a woman, and she was.
They're the last bastion, though. Catholicism stops at Croatia, and then
really?
it goes into Islam and Orthodox Christianity.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, anyways, they're a kingdom. They're doing fine. World War II happens. Axis powers
Heard of it?
basically come down, and they're like, "Hey, we're about to fuck shit up." And so the Yugoslavians were like, "Hey, look, no problems here. Like we'll sign this little agreement. You guys can totally come through here, chill." And then the
Jews? I don't know about Jews.
actually huge Jewish population in like lots of Serbia and
Oh,
probably
really?
all over. I mean, it's kind of the route.
Did the Nazis go off on them?
Oh yeah, but they also went off on the Serbs too. They went off on a lot of like,
man.
yeah, the Nazis.
I always tell people you can never trust a Nazi.
But here's
that's my personal opinion, though, so I don't know.
yeah,
Yeah.
you got to punch a Nazi.
You got to
Yeah.
punch a Nazi.
Yeah. So the Nazis are in there. They take it over. They ignore the little pact, and they're like, actually, we kind of like this. We'd like to take it all over. You know how the Nazis did.
Yeah,
I could be incorrect
You give
about
a Nazi
this.
a cookie. That's what the.
They'll take a town.
I could be incorrect about this, but I feel like part of Yugoslavia was with the Axis power, and part of them was against it.
I think
Because there's
Bulgaria and the Serbians. I think so. Here's actually what happened. Was the Serbians have always been a little bit problematic.
Yeah.
They've always been kind of like, fascism, great.
Yeah.
So they had a resistance called the Chetniks.
Yes, that's
And
like
the
a big
Chetniks-
time slur.
But the Chetniks,
That's a slur.
In Croatia, like if you call someone a Chetnik, that's like the Serbs that were down with the Nazis.
Yeah.
And then Ustasa,
that's Ustasi,
yeah,
but it's Ustasa.
Ustasha was like the Croatians that were down with the Nazis.
Yeah, so
That's my understanding of it. Like
I think it was more that the Nazis took over. The Chetniks were the resistance. So what's cool about Yugoslavia is they had the largest resistance movement. They had what's called the partisans, and the partisans actually kind of were like a guerrilla warfare that actually like held the Nazis off because it's super mountainous. You can't really like,
resisting against the Nazis.
yeah, but the Chetniks were also like just killing just Muslims too. They were just like, they kind of were like, oh, we're fighting. Well, in the meanwhile, let's also massacre this Muslim village.
yeah, there's been a lot of genocide in this whole scenario.
Yeah, and it's always over like things that you wouldn't really think. Like right now, shit's popping off in Kosovo because Kosovo is predominantly ethnically Albanian, and all of the Kosovo government has been basically like installed Serbian ethnic Kosovars. So all the Albanian ethnic, like the Albanians living in like which is the predominant party, is like
They're
they're
not
fucking shit up.
represented, yeah.
They're like fighting in the streets. Like it's like kind of close to civil war.
Okay.
I think they just calmed down a little bit. Anyways, so there's two branches of the partisans. There's one which is the Chetniks, and also while the Nazis are in power, the Ustasha are like the Stasi. Like they're like the secret police. They kill tons of people. They killed 30,000 Jews, a bunch of Serbs.
They really like killing Jews in big
and a
numbers.
bunch of Romas.
Yeah.
I feel like it's crazy though, because we always talk about the Jews that got killed in the Holocaust, which is obviously the main event. But a lot of Roma people, like gypsies, they got like basically.
In Barcelona.
So I've been in Spain for too long. But they also got I think they got a larger percentage of their actual per capita.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they got decimated.
Yeah.
Really?
Not that Jews didn't, but I'm just saying we'd never go
But the Jews, come on, stop complaining about it.
No, I don't want to be on this podcast anymore.
Really? But the Ustasha,
You guys are really letting me bomb all podcasts. I've been bombing with
Have
you
we?
guys. Yeah.
No,
we gotta support you.
I'm supporting you. I'm smiling. Maybe I should laugh more.
Yes, please.
Have you tried smiling?
Yeah.
Okay, give one to Wilfred.
All right. Next time I throw a little line out there, try that.
Okay. I
He
will.
did say yummy, yummy, yummy.
I did say yummy, yummy, yummy.
Yeah, that was
When you said you were friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was before I threw any. We'll move on.
Okay.
But
Are you feeling vulnerable right now? Kind of left out?
yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
All right.
He's hungover. He's
Oh, that's part
Yeah,
of it.
I'm a weak person right now.
Okay, well, just
Well,
so you
I
know, we
want to
love you
actually
very
learn
much.
about this.
So, anyways, yeah. So there's two sectors of the partisans. One is basically fascist militants.
Yeah.
And the other side is kind of more like a Yugoslavian identified. I'm sure they did some bad shit, but they're led by Josip. What's his name?
He's
Josip
Filipino.
Broz Tito.
Uh-huh.
And Tito is who will become the president for life of Yugoslavia.
A real polarizing figure.
It's kind
Really?
of weird because they win the war, they recreate the Yugoslavian state. The king of Yugoslavia says, you know what, I think this is actually a better way to go. They depose the monarchy. It's not a violent deposition or whatever. I don't know what you call it.
I think you nailed it.
And then Joseph Tito, which
Tito.
he always gets called Tito for the rest of life, he becomes the ruler of Yugoslavia for life. He does this other interesting thing. So the USSR helps them.
When is this again?
1944.
This is after World War II.
Sure.
No, this is at the end of World War II.
That's what I just said.
How did you learn?
1945.
How did you learn? How did you learn about all this?
I'm learning it right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
But I'm
yeah.
sure there's
But it seems
I
like
know who Tito was. This is crazy.
Tito was the equivalent of Frederick Douglass. He was, or he was like an independence character that then became king of a country.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It's like a.
he's like Lincoln.
Yeah.
Yeah. My uncle. This is wild.
Is him.
4 years old.
Wait, the one that I've met.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Fought in the
What?
Croatian War.
4 years old?
No, he was 2 or 3 when he came to America, but there's such a strong sense of nationalism in Croatia and Serbia and Bosnia and Montenegro. It's just they die for their country, literally.
Absolutely. Yeah.
They don't
That-
fuck around.
That he flew over to Croatia during the Civil War and fought in the war. Then Serbia had a real army, and Croatia had guns from their home and were fighting tanks.
Hunting rifles and shit
Yeah,
like that.
yeah, and fought in the war.
That's crazy.
He's
Yeah.
a hero in our hometown, a little bit. Because
How old was he?
He must have been,
20?
yeah.
And you guys are disrespecting this guy?
I don't disrespect
He
him.
deserves McDonald's.
Yeah, you should give him all the McDonald's you want.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you for finally showing up for
Can
me.
you tell Vladi Divac to support your uncle's McDonald's habit?
He did, right, with the flag.
Was
What?
Vladi on the bad side?
Vladi, I believe, threw a Croatian flag on the floor during a some sort of.
Well, wasn't there because Once We're Brothers is about Vladi and Stojakovic?
And
Can you guys
Petrovic.
back up and what are you guys talking about?
There was a
NBA.
Serbian basketball
Yeah,
player called Vladi Divac.
I know who he is.
Yeah, and there was a great Croatian, Drazen Petrovic.
Okay.
he was insanely good. He died in a tragic car crash, but like was the only player that they say was not afraid of Michael Jordan. Would,
Okay.
like,
And when
play
he,
right in his face.
when they were coming up in their first couple of years in the NBA, they played on the Yugoslav national team as teammates.
Which almost beat what was the? I think Yugoslavia came in like second place.
Yeah.
In the Olympics or something.
They were like because we've always had like what would you call it, Baltic, like Jokic is from Serbia.
Yeah.
You know, like there's so many.
We're really good at sports for some reason. I think it's because we're like tall and poor.
Yeah.
But
if you're tall and you don't have money, you're gonna fucking dominate, dude.
yeah, I mean, look at the Croatian national soccer team; it's insane. But that's why you think if everyone stuck together,
Yeah, you might have a chance.
yeah. But I could get killed for saying that. So
I don't worry about it.
yeah,
Well, not any. I mean, nobody. We have a strong thing against Baltic nationalists on this
Okay.
pod. They're not welcome.
Yeah, we don't.
Christopher Moltisanti said that no bigots are allowed to watch White Lotus. We
Yeah.
do not let Baltic nationalists
Yeah.
listen to the No
Okay.
Zone.
There's a
they
lot of
know it,
Baltic
too.
Are
nationalists.
we're big in what country was that, Autumn? Uganda?
nice.
Yeah, it was Uganda. And also Trinidad and Tobago. You're on their ratings.
Damn.
Oh, yeah. Trinidad and Tobago. Shout out Trinidad and Tobago. Invite us down to a soca fest. We don't want to get that shark
Yeah.
bake.
I want to hear
Hell
some
yeah.
steel drums, baby.
Yeah. I want
Reference.
What if it's
reference.
just Anthony from The Office just telling his family? He's just telling people, man, you got to hear that. These guys I work with, they have
Yeah.
the worst podcast.
It's hilarious. They think this is their dream.
Yeah,
They're
hate
making
listen to
it. Yeah. They hate listen to it. Like
Yeah.
on the beach.
Yeah.
She's like
Yeah.
cooking and she keeps on shaking her head like
Yeah.
his grandma.
That's how they fall
'Cause
asleep on the beach.
They know the facts are wrong. Anyways, so the partisans went out and then they use the USSR to kind of like fight they're aligned with the USSR when they're fighting the Nazis. And then Tito does something crazy, which is he kicks the USSR out. He's like, I don't want Red Army in here. And he becomes a socialist state and is essentially part of the USSR, but independently ran. And then he's like, you know what? We're not. This is like, we are our own country, or the Socialist Republic of Yugoslavia and or Socialist Federation of Yugoslavia, and kills it. Like they are. In 1980, they were the second fastest growing nation in the world.
Yeah.
Their economy was great.
Whoa.
And it really had to do with the fact that
Economically growing.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
They were like producing.
They had cars like Yugo. The
Yugo.
car was like internationally sold.
Yugo is.
It's
it
a
was
piece
like
of
a
shit,
piece
but
of
it's like.
shit. It was like it's the funniest.
But they sold
shittiest
it in
car.
America.
Autumn,
Like, it was-
show me a picture.
Big in Europe, but I think some of them made it over here, right?
I saw a couple last week in Berlin. I should have taken a picture for you.
I mean, look
Oh.
at that.
Yeah, they're kinda
hunk
cool.
of
Those are
junk.
fucking tight.
Look
No.
at brand new car.
I love the boxy. Like I've always wanted a
Oh, look at
Volkswagen
this.
Golf from the 80s.
This guy did like a modern, like, look at their like GTI in them out. That's sick.
Yeah,
That is cool.
Hell yeah.
that's what I
dude.
want.
Fast and Furious.
It's before.
That's a good car. I actually really like that car.
It's like in my blood to want to
guys
trick
are-
out a car.
That is a dope car. I love a functional car.
Is it functional though? It looks like the doors.
Yeah, you
would,
can
like,
park
It's a
it
perfect
anywhere.
size.
I feel like the doors would make they wouldn't shut properly. You know,
Yeah, you got to pull it hard to shut it.
That's a shot
crappy
from the war.
clunker Yugo taken out by tank. Yeah.
Fucking Yugos rock, dude.
So I went to Croatia when I was.
Look at that white
time,
one. That one's tight.
yeah.
No,
Yeah.
down. Yeah, that one.
That one is cool.
Yeah,
Yugo
that could be
55
on the front of a fucking Frank Ocean cover.
Yeah. All right, so you went to the Croatia.
I went to Croatia for the first time when I was probably like 9 years old. My dad took me.
This is post Civil War.
This is post Civil War, so if
Shit's
I was
still tight down there, though, right?
if
Tensions are hot.
if I was 9, that means it was 2000. How can I do this
What?
math?
You weren't born.
No. I was
You're not-
1989.
So you
Yeah.
were 19. It was
It was
1998, which
Thank
is,
you.
the war had only been over for months or like not long.
Then I wasn't 9. Fuck.
Well, no, I don't know. I think the
I thought you said it
ceasefire
ended
was
in 1990.
no.
Yeah.
That's when the countries broke apart.
Oh, and then
And
they
then
kept,
the war
And then you
started.
guys kept going. Man,
Whatever. I went when I was a young boy, and there would be houses like completely blown out.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, oh man, that's still from the war. And my dad was like, no, that was
from a Yugo.
that would be, they would find out that was like a Serb's house.
Yeah.
That was living in Croatia.
Oh,
and
shit.
blow it up.
Yeah, they didn't fuck around. They still don't fuck around.
They still don't fuck around.
But
yeah.
like it's always simmering. But the thing is that Tito did a really good job, because anytime anybody wanted to like be like, we're Croatian and like we we need more rights, or we're fucking Kosovar, whatever, he would just lock up the people kind of instigating, and then he might in 1968 was the first student protests, and then 1970 and 71 there was this thing called the Croatian Summer or Croatian Spring, and
what was that?
it was just student protests, like nationwide student protests, and then like industries, workers, people got involved because it was like a socialist place, so the people were like conscious of it.
Yeah.
And he would actually like arrest everybody that was like organizing it, but then he would like give some of the demands, so he would give some of these countries certain kind of like leeways, and they had like a national congress, but Tito died in 1980, and then things kind of start to unravel. It was still doing okay, but then there was a OPEC.
Who came in?
I think just somebody got elected. They actually had like fair elections.
And then when you're elected, you're there for life?
No, Tito was the only one that did the president for life thing.
Oh.
How
long did he?
He was
rocking it for like 40 years?
1946 to 1980.
Okay, 30 something.
Jeez Louise.
So yeah, like
34.
34-ish, 35 years. And he definitely like disappeared people, killed opponents, things like that. There's like a bunch of stuff about this guy like disagreed with him about how to handle Kosovo, and then he just died in a car accident.
Did he bang a bunch of women? That seems like a
I think he was a family
leader
man,
thing
but I'm
to
guessing that with power comes great pussy.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. But so things start to unravel after Tito. He's really kind of the glue, and it takes an iron hand because everybody hates each other, and it's like right along these borders. Economy starts to fall apart, and then in around 1989-90, the USSR is falling apart, but also countries are just kind of like, Croatia's like, why the fuck are we part of Yugoslavia? We hate these motherfuckers. And Serbia's like, why don't we fucking bail? Like they all start kind of organizing and having their own because they have internal congresses. There's a Croatian Congress, there's a Serbian Congress, and they all have to answer to the Yugoslav.
Oh,
and
really?
they all start going like, we shouldn't do this anymore, kind of thing.
And
then they all declare kind of independence around 1990.
Chance the Rapper.
And then shit starts to pop off in Bosnia, where ethnic Serbs just start kind of... I actually didn't get into the Bosnian War, which is what this is kind of like the modern war.
Yeah, that's happening right now, right?
No, it's over.
This is in this
1990s.
Damn, I just want to be smart
But
about one thing.
We actually... A crazy statistic about this is that we did go in. We went in and we bombed.
American
Clinton.
Troops. We fought, and it was such a disaster. It was
huge.
such like they don't fuck around. Like they not only killed Americans, but they also like
they
wasn't
captured them, right? And like
The Bosnians?
tortured them and shit. Yeah, there's been like a lot of war crimes in this whole war. There's still people that are like on
and nobody's innocent.
trial.
That's the thing.
Yeah, no. I've heard a story that like these buses of protesters went into a town in Serbia, and they were like Croatian, and the Croatian army, the Serbian army drove the buses back, and everyone in the bus was like decapitated, like just like sick shit.
Yeah. Like there was stories about during the Bosnian War, which you would call it. I think it's called the
so
Bosnian War.
exhausting to decapitate like
That 40
20 something.
people?
Yeah, 40 people.
But
fucked
probably
up.
a lot more.
Yeah.
They also did like Holocaust shit to the Muslims.
Genocides.
Yeah,
You're like
they-
decapitating a whole football team,
Yeah.
Hard work.
a whole high school. That's a lot of work.
Yeah, a lot. Like, and also having to put them back on the bus.
Yeah.
Is that what they did? They took them off.
That's the thing was, it was like, oh, you want to protest, and then
They took them off the bus, decapitated them, then put them back on the bus.
Yeah, and then drove the bus like back to where the city came from. Was
God.
like, you want to fuck with us? Go
That
ahead.
the poor driver.
Yeah.
Poor driver.
Probably didn't get overtime. That's for
No,
sure.
definitely not.
You don't think so?
No.
No, I don't think there
You
was.
think
a
he's
lot
getting
of-
an
I don't think there
award?
was. I think at this point in time, there probably wasn't money. You know, like it
Yeah.
was like you used to have Yugoslav money, and then they were like, it's actually Croatian money now, and he was like, I just have
It was really bad. It was really bad.
They said
A lot
in
of mines.
1990, 30% of like right before the war, 30% of the nation was unemployed because of it was all state-ran institutions. So when the state collapses, all these institutions fail. But there's a story I heard about an American troop is patrolling somewhere in Bosnia, and a little kid comes up to him, and he's like, "I have something for you." And the American soldier like holds out his hand, and it's a grenade. The little kid hands him a grenade, and to kill him, like
Yeah.
he's been sent as like a little.
Did he Did he kill the guy?
I think so.
Oh, okay.
It was an adorable little suicide bomber.
I wasn't
Oh
sure
my
if
God.
he was smart, if he pulled the pin or whatever, you know?
He's like, bang.
Can I tell you guys about my first
Suicide.
short film
Killer?
that I'm going to make when I'm like on and have money?
Yeah.
Okay. So they set a lot of mines
Yeah.
in.
This is a Princess Diana had a lot to do with the trying to excavate these mines. I
Yes.
think. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Really?
Yes. Yeah. There's mines all over. All the countries have.
Still
these-
to this day, there's still mines.
There's like places that they're like, don't go in that field.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's pretty reckless.
The war is over,
Yeah.
and
You know, I actually don't. I don't think that's, a
like
good.
not chill.
Yeah, it's not a good idea.
Yeah. So, picture like a vineyard, right?
Okay, I'm seeing it.
And this family's on one side of the vineyard, and they see their boy, like their son, returning from war,
Uh-huh.
and he's so happy to be home. They're so happy to see him. They're hysterical, crying. And he gets off the bus or car that drove him there.
This doesn't sound like it's going to be happy.
Does he
And
have his head?
He has. His,
Okay,
he
this,
has, he
this
has,
is a bus that takes people with
They're
their heads.
happy. They're happy for
Okay.
the for the
he
moment.
has all his extremities.
Okay,
He's
cool.
so excited to be here.
He had a
And-
good war.
Yeah, he, had
okay,
a good,
cool.
he got home, and it's in Croatia, and they're like screaming, and it's from a distance.
Is there techno or anything?
There's no
Yeah.
Is everybody?
There's like
Yeah, is everybody
Yeah.
smoking cigarettes?
Croatia.
yeah. Is there Ciroc?
vodka. Yeah.
So okay, long distance. They're all
Long
excited.
distance. So you think that they're just happy to see him, but as it gets closer, it's like a dolly shot. You realize that they're screaming,
No.
"Don't run across that field! Don't run across that field!" He's so happy to be home. He doesn't give a fuck. He's running through the field. He's
He
running-
misses all the mines. He's fine.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's
No. I think it would like cut to black,
Oh, okay.
and you don't know what happens. But
Oh.
yeah, and you would the scene before that would be the like Serbian army planting the mines in that
Oh,
field.
yeah.
Is this how it ends or how it begins?
That's how the movie begins. I forgot to tell that crucial part of the story
Yeah,
because
that's
you
a big
guys
part.
were
Yeah.
Well, because you also said at the beginning you were like, "There's so many mines," and then so I assumed there would be
exactly.
mines.
I
Yeah.
already set it up perfectly because I'm
Master storyteller.
Yeah.
Kind of mock
I-
level storyteller.
Honestly, telling the punchline is the best thing to do in the beginning.
yeah. That is my comedy
Yeah.
style.
Yeah.
Just drop a punchline and then tell
And then
a
you-
6-minute setup after.
Yeah, I love it. So, I mean, it's not doing really justice to kind of what we know of the Balkan Wars, which were like that in the 90s. That's when all this shit went off. Milosevic,
Oh yeah.
Milosevic.
Milosevic.
which is like kind of the biggest war criminal he was a Bosnian ethnic Serb. Bosnian, or maybe just Serb, that just he was the one that like killed 6,000 people, like
Oh, really?
just himself.
That's the funniest part about all this is like most of these people in this area, it's like, oh yes, my mother is Croatian, my father is Serbian, I hate Serbian, but I love Croatian. It's like it doesn't make any sense. They're like, I like a Bosnian woman in college, I date a Bosnian woman, but I don't like Bosnian men. It's like there's no
Yeah,
rhyme
and
or-
it's also
yeah.
like
It's
it's
so
not a
specific.
big place.
It's not a
so
big place.
It's like
How big is it?
literally town. It's probably like the size of like Texas.
There's 4.5 million people in Croatia.
Okay.
small.
So
it's
smaller than
half-
New York. Yeah,
Croatia's
half of New York.
half the population of New York, and then that is times whatever 6 countries, and Croatia is probably one of the most populous.
Yeah.
So I'm not really doing justice because it really is one of those like kind of Israel-Palestine things where like so many people did bad things to each other that there's not really the only really innocent
So
people.
which
it seems
side are
like-
you taking?
I like the North Macedonians, but it's just crazy because it was like a pretty westernized, functional, like economically prosperous country in the 80s, and then by 1995 it is rubble. It's like half the, like Sarajevo, Belgrade, Zagreb are like literally like covered with bullet holes and bombs and shit
still.
like that. Yeah, and it's like
Not still. The first time I went, there was like, fully dilapidated, like tall buildings just like blown out.
yeah, they would like,
Insane.
and there was also like until probably like until like 2010 and maybe even more recently than that, like there was places like Kosovo, or I think, can we go back to that map? I know that Kosovo has been pretty tight for quite a while.
Tight as in cool or bad?
No, isn't bad.
Like,
Like
tensions
yeah,
rising.
Bosnia and Herzegovina are still kind of like, and there's even some countries that I'm not really. I think there's some countries within these countries, like ethnic group, like kind of small, tiny little pockets of.
Macedonia is a small, tiny little place.
But it was like you still couldn't go there as like in like 2010, you couldn't go to certain countries if you were ethnically from if you were like a Croatian and you went to like Montenegro or whatever. I don't know the exacts, but like they would still be like, you can't come here. You know?
So who do you hate the most?
It's gotta be Serbs, right?
Yeah, I grew up like my father and my uncle just openly being like, yeah, don't ever
Talk to Serbs.
Yeah. And I thought that was like okay. I was like, oh,
What do Serbians look like?
Like Matt.
tall? They're tall. I
They're
think
taller
I
than
think they're
you?
the second tallest nation in the.
Yeah,
she just Googled Serbian and then
Yeah,
Oh,
that
yeah,
makes
that
sense.
looks like that guy. Okay.
And this
most
is another
of them
thing.
are in fatigues. That's interesting. Why, when you type in Serbian and images, are they all?
Yeah, this is them.
Yeah.
Okay, so type in Croatian and see what that see how nice those guys look.
It's just gonna be cheese.
Same outfits.
No, it's goofy. You guys are goofier and fun.
Yeah.
They got their head wraps are cuter.
Yeah, you got like
Whoa.
Sound of
That's
Music. Look.
Naldal.
Ooh, bring
there's,
it. Yeah.
there's the girl that they're
She literally
very top.
has an entire career
Yeah.
because she was just at a Croatian game and she's a model. And
That's
now
so
she-
funny that like
and they like zoomed in on her and she became
Yeah.
a national
we
hero.
were like,
Yeah.
whoa, tits, and then fucking Autumn couldn't even find them.
we like clocked them like as the
Yeah.
it was like blurry scroll
Yeah.
and I was like boobs.
Yeah, it could have been fuzzy the entire time.
Oh, look at that. There's a side by side right there.
Oh, yeah.
Croatian, Hrvatski, Bosnian,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Bosanski, Serbian. I don't know how to.
Yeah, so I dated a
Whoa,
Serbian.
Serbians got their own alphabet?
Yeah, they're Cyrillic.
I did not know that.
And also
What does Cyrillic mean?
It's the Russian alphabet.
Yeah.
Like backwards R and stuff.
I
And
did not know that.
Yeah, so the C is an S net, the E is a P, R is an N without a thing. I studied Ukrainian this year,
Okay.
and so I kind of learned Cyrillic. But
I got a Ukrainian jersey.
oh, sick.
Yeah, for
Is it Zinchenko? Oh,
yeah.
sick.
You know that he
Nice.
was gonna go back to fight, but then he was like, I can't because of my daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's a good dude.
millionaire, and he was gonna go back to fight.
Yeah.
Well, the fucking president of Kiev, or the mayor of Kiev, is the former world boxing champion Klitschko,
Yeah.
and he is actively like a military personnel.
Oh, really? Yeah, I wouldn't. That's great. I'm like, oh, I'm too busy. I'm too busy with stand up. So
Yeah, I'm too busy to visit someone in the hospital. These people are going back to fight
But-
wars.
I know.
The Serbs are kind of right now. It's like kind of universally agreed within the kind of diplomatic community that Serbia is a Russian proxy state. So it's like it definitely answers to Moscow. It's
Okay.
influenced by Moscow, and also they more culturally align because they have the Cyrillic alphabet. They see themselves as Slavs, which is all of Eastern Europe, and so it's kind of they're still on the wrong side of history. The Serbs are kind of just consistently taking the wrong path, and we should kind of come out as an anti-Serb podcast if we really want to be on the right side of history.
I'm okay with getting canceled.
I'm okay with that.
I'm totally okay with getting canceled.
We're gonna get killed in we're gonna get killed by a dude named Dragon, and it's gonna be like I'm gonna be like walking into my building and like fishing line is gonna cut my head off.
Oh yeah.
Did you ever see Layer Cake?
Layer Cake?
Yeah, a long time ago. Like
That
2012.
all the bad guys in that are Serbians.
Oh really?
Yeah, and they're like, that's like a big
It
thing.
feels like Serbians were the bad guys. I'm assuming that Serbians were the bad guys of like a lot of 90s action movies.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
made them like they were like a big thing that they would do is they'd be
Such
like,
good geopolitics those movies had.
they'd be like, these guys are nobody to fuck with. They committed war crimes during the Balkan Wars. That
They're
was
also
like
tall. They're all
Yeah.
huge.
it's all Jokic.
Yeah.
They're the second tallest country.
But when
I could be
Yugoslavia
wrong, but I think I'm
Yugoslavia
right.
was like unified, their basketball team was so fucking dope.
I think they almost beat the USA.
Yeah, they did.
the Dream
Yeah.
Team?
Yeah.
Not,
It was the dream team.
It was the Dream Team.
Yeah. I
And
don't
they
think
were
they'd
like-
broken up by then.
I think they were like the only team that
It was the
ever came close.
1988 Olympics, I think. It was 88.
Dream Team was 92.
Yeah, they would have just broken up in 92.
They would have just broken up. Yeah.
But we have a long history of like there is probably more Balkans in the NBA than there are white people in the NBA.
Huh.
Don't you think?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be safe to say?
That would be safe to say.
Peja Stojakovic, Petrovic.
You're going to name all of them?
What I was trying to think of like historically there was always like a dope Balkan dude
yeah.
like
Sure, yeah.
on like Vlade
Always,
Divac,
yeah.
all these like they're tall, they have a culture of basketball for some reason, I don't know.
Poverty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they're badass at
That's
football
me.
too.
Sorry,
okay.
I'm a shaky guy.
And we are obviously joking. We're not anti-Serbian because you know who is Serbian. He's Swiss national, but a Serbian is Shaka.
No, he's not. He's Albanian.
Oh, he is.
Yeah. I know this because granted, Xhaka is Albanian. His brother plays for Albania. He plays for Switzerland.
But okay, yeah, actually you're right because when Switzerland
I'm smart once.
when Switzerland
Who's
was
Xhaka?
playing
Granted,
Switzerland-
Xhaka is a soccer player that was a midfielder for Arsenal.
He was
currently is, but he's probably going to
I
get
know
sold
who you're
soon.
talking about. Yeah.
but him and Shaqiri were both Shaqiri, who's like one of the greatest. He played for Arsenal for a second. I think he's
It's actually Shakira.
Shakira after she broke up with what was her?
Yeah, who she just date? She's dating a soccer player, right?
She was married or like they have kids. They were together for like a decade. It's a Barcelona player. I can't think of his name. Pujols? Yeah.
I don't know.
Anyways, but they were playing Serbia, and when they scored goals, they got fined for this. They held up the Albanian eagle, like towards the Serbian fans. Like,
Oh,
fuck
really?
you. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it was a big deal.
There was a Croatian game that got canceled because someone drew a swastika in the center of the field.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah.
Like Croatian national team?
It might have been a club game. I think it was a club game during like the Champions League.
Yeah.
how big was the swastika?
It was probably Dinamo Zagreb.
Yeah. Or it might have been Hajduk. Hajduk, I think, is better than Dinamo.
I don't think Hajduk made it recently.
No? Okay, so maybe it was Dinamo.
Pretty big swastika.
Yeah, they like burned it into the field.
Dude,
Oh, wow.
I was I've been following like a bunch of Ukrainian accounts because I don't think we talked about this, but me and Wilfred were going to go to the Ukraine. We were going to go out there and try to like make a documentary with Ukrainian comics that are still doing comedy.
Jesus.
I'm glad I didn't tell you about this because you probably would have been on board.
I'm down, dude.
Yeah.
Packing my bags.
But I followed a bunch of them, and there's one that I follow is like kind of a hipster girl from Kiev, but she's fighting, and just scrolling. She's stories. There's like 10 stories I'm going through, and just swastikas out of nowhere. These Eastern Europeans, man.
She's into swastikas.
She just had friends with like swastika tattoos. I guess. I mean, it's a pretty clear endorsement. It wasn't like she wasn't going like.
I don't PU.
Bad. Dude.
Boo.
If I was a neo-Nazi and I had a swastika tattoo and I got better, and I like kind of turn around, I would do a Calvin peeing on the swastika.
Yeah,
tattoo
there you
to
go.
fix the swastika.
What are the things that are kind of like Nazi related? The Nordic runes?
Well,
Is
there's the
that-
Nordic stuff that a lot of the Scandinavians do. There's the SSSs, you know, like a lot of heavy metal guys have those SS.
What's the Nordic stuff?
It all this European fascism roots back to nationalism, and there's this idea that your country and the people that are from that country are the best, you know. So the Norwegians, a lot of them are like kind of neo-Nazis because they're like, look at, we're from Norway and look at how great Norway is, and it's really used to be like, hey, don't let Turkish and Syrian people move here because we're great and you're going to ruin our greatness. They rarely go after other whites, which is interesting. They did it in your country.
They sure did.
But Matt, do you want to plug anything?
Yeah, check out my Instagram.
Check out his tattoos.
Matt Z. Pavich. It's at Matt Z. Pavich. I post a lot of clips and fun.
Matt Z. Pavich.
Are you doing anything else? Shows, pod, or just kind of getting back to square one?
Just getting back to square one, figuring it all out. But I announce everything. The Instagram is the way to find me.
You're going to be in Stanford, right?
When?
Or did you already do Stanford?
I did Stanford.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were. All right, I missed that one. Sorry about that. And I want to shout out or say a special thank you to everybody that came out to shows in Berlin, Amsterdam, and London. It was really fun, even though it was the middle of summer and nobody apparently. I was told as soon as I got there that nobody goes to anything. Right when I got there, they were like, "Oh,
Really?
just so you know, nobody goes to anything during the summer."
Were they zone heads?
There was a
that's what we're
couple
calling
people
them
that
now.
had listened to.
What's a zone head?
We're the
this is
known
the
zone.
known
Oh,
zone.
Yeah.
Zoners. But zone heads. Of
course,
They
yeah,
believe
yeah. I
in
don't
different
know
zoning
how I didn't-
laws.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get it.
Yeah.
But thank you for coming out. And
You know, I got 2 zone heads to shout out. Their names were Rebecca and Becca. They came to my show in Connecticut.
hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, zoners. We're going to call them zoners.
I want them to be zone heads.
Zone heads?
Yeah.
Oh, kind of
No,
like cone
cone
heads. I
heads.
get it.
Or
yeah.
boneheads.
Boneheads.
No, we can't say bone.
Why can't you say bone?
Because bone is not part of our.
No, but he's saying it sounds like bonehead. I think that's what you're
Yes, that's what I was saying.
Oh, I thought you were saying.
Plus,
we call
the
them-
whole no one knows this. The whole thing, we made this dumb pun off of the bone zone.
Yeah, that's true.
the bone zone. Yeah.
Yeah,
The
and so
known
that's why
zone.
we call it the known zone, because it was the stupidest thing we could think
Yeah,
of.
it was good. It was
Yeah.
a good.
We were in a
dumb-
frantic, we were like
We have
frantically
to
trying to
name
think
this.
of a name and be like,
over text.
yeah.
Yeah.
And we're just texting back and forth the stupidest shit. And then I said the known zone, and Andy was like, "Oh, that's it." And then 5 minutes later, I was like, "Oh yeah, totally cool." And then 5 minutes later, I was like, "This is a mistake."
I like it. I think it's pretty good.
Thank you very much, Matt Pavich.
Thank you.
So good to see you.
Great to see
I
you.
love you. I want you to know that. I think
I love
you're one
you,
of the
bud.
most. You're one of my favorite comics and people in the city. I'm
Thanks,
so glad
bud.
you're healthy. And that's a
is gross.
sincere moment. Yeah.
I love you.
I love you too, Wilfred.
Oh yeah, I love it.